Right. Dysfunction is truly the natural behavior, the reflexive actions of the heathen. I'm going to talk to you guys about what I mean by that statement. I know it's strong, but I think that we've been overlooking a quality of the world, of the multitude, for longer than need be. This is 2026 now. Like I said before, when we were in Macedonia, this is a time where we need to claim consequences for our actions. And so by doing so, we also have to notice and call out the actions of the heathen, of the multitude, which is dysfunction, which is a virus, by the way, right? Let me talk to you guys about what's been going on. And by the way, it's not necessarily, dysfunction is not native to a group of individuals or a culture or anything. It's most people, right? It's just that some people are just very good at making dysfunction look good, but in fact it's still dysfunction. I was on the way to the office earlier this week, a couple times actually, because this happened multiple times this week. Let's just talk about it, how it's coming. I was on the bus and it gets crowded, obviously, so it's the morning, so we have a whole plethora of people trying to go to school. We have parents trying to take their kids to school. They're trying to go to work and all this kind of stuff, probably go shopping, whichever. But it gets very, very crowded. It's a peak time in the morning. It gets crowded, and when people are in crowds, what I've noticed is that their anxiety levels get really, really high. They go in one of two modes. The first mode is whether they probably get very quiet, shy, and they try to move around people. They become very, very introverted and repressed almost. The second half, which a lot of people go into nowadays, I don't know why, is they get hyper aggressive. They get very, very angry. What happens is that, it's crowded, a place is crowded. When places are crowded, there's few available room for people to hang in. And people are going to accidentally bump into each other. This is just naturally what happens. And so many times on the way to the office and coming back from the office, we have people like bumping into each other accidentally, naturally, and then we have one person screaming at the other person like, "What the heck? Yo, you gotta watch out where you're going." And I'm just like sitting there watching the whole conflict unfold, and I'm like, you do understand the objective state that you guys are in. You guys are in a crowded bus. Naturally, you're gonna get in, you're gonna bump each other, you're gonna brush shoulders. We also had people on the precipice of fighting. Like we had people, it gets crowded, and so I guess someone wants to wait in front of the bus instead of going all the way to the back, and so they stop right in front of a whole line of people trying to get inside the bus, and so someone pushes the other person, and the other person starts cursing at that person. The other person stands their ground, and then they almost get into an altercation, and then some people step in. And this dysfunction, right? That's on a basic level. That's a standard level. We also have a lot of things. If you go into a lot of neighborhoods in the world, right? Because it's not just an America versus everyone else kind of thing. I'm going to just give you guys context because I've traveled a lot. Like I said, in the United States, around my neighborhood, it's crazy how much litter there is all over the floor, all over the parks, all over the apartment building that I even live in. This is your living quarters. How can you litter in your own living quarters, right? That's the United States. And you see this everywhere, like right here, even on this beautiful boardwalk, you could definitely see litter everywhere. So it's not this dysfunction of behavior it's not from prevalently one culture or another. People generally are heathen-like, and they perpetuate dysfunction. Let's talk about Montenegro. I am telling you, I will never forget. I was driving from Sarajevo because I was trying to go to Podgorica, the capital of Montenegro. I stopped. I pulled over after I got from the border. I left the border, and I just saw a whole plethora of litter all over their land. It's such a beautiful Montenegro. I'm telling you, if you guys have never been over there, please go to Montenegro. I'm telling you, just take a drive around there. I know maybe you guys won't have maybe the discretionary income or the time even to do that just for fun, but I urge you guys to do it. It's such a beautiful land. Eastern Europe is very, very beautiful. Not as beautiful as Serbia, of course, but it's beautiful in its own right? There's so much litter. When I pulled the car over, I walked around, I saw litter everywhere. Plastic bottles on the ground, potato chips, empty potato chips, empty food containers, the defecation of animals all over Montenegro. I'm like, it's so funny. It's not just native to Americans. It's just everyone is sort of heathen-like. They don't care about their culture. I'm sure if you go to Russia, you'll see the same thing. People don't really care about their culture. You'll see litter everywhere. What I'm saying is that the reason why I brought up those two examples is because we've been conditioned a lot by what we see in the news and social media that dysfunction only exists with certain groups of people, when in reality, everyone mostly is dysfunctional and heathen-like. I'm gonna give you guys even another example. I was at work, right? And what I've noticed at the Georgian restaurant, and what I noticed at the Georgian restaurant is that a lot of the Georgian employees, they drink excessively. Like when I say excessively, it's like they have what is it? Well, I don't know, the cha-cha. They drink that a lot, right? An hour or 2 hours before ending work, and then they drink a couple more shots and then more cocktails, and then they just keep going and smoking cigarettes. I'm like, that's insane. Why are we drinking? What are we hiding from within ourselves that we need to drink all of this stuff? And then I realized something very, very deep. And I realized I sort of did a lot of retrospective thinking and rumination, and I came to a conclusion. Travel is very, very good. I implore all of you guys to please travel. But what I'm saying is that you need to understand a lot. And I want you guys to, when you travel, to observe the people of the countries that you go to. A lot of people are really dysfunctional. A lot of people have not done the self-reflective work. A lot of people do not look within and try to seek evolution. Spiritual evolution. They don't seek to channel the metaphysical forces within them to help themselves, to go through blockages, psychological and spiritual blockages. They don't care about this stuff. Every country you go to, it doesn't matter how nice they are when with neighbors and whatnot. No one in any country chases enlightenment. They are more drawn, almost like a gravitational pull, or like Leonardo da Vinci says, the natural state of water affected by gravity going towards a certain point, and they become stale and foul. Everyone has this reflexive inclination to be heathen, to drink alcohol, to smoke, to have sex excessively, to prioritize the material good, the material world. They all go to church. You'll notice, like in a lot of these places, a lot of countries, they tend to be a bit more religious than the United States. In the United States, we have various groups, right? In the UK as well, because the UK is like very, very similar to the United States in terms of culture, and a lot more atheists, right? People don't believe in anything. And so you guys know when you don't believe in anything, you really fall for nothing. But I don't think that's worse than people that come from countries that are, majority of those countries are religious, but they don't follow the tenets of those religions. Right? It's like you're coming from an Orthodox Christian society, but you have sex excessively. You drink excessive alcohol, right? It's like, that doesn't make sense. Or you're only claiming that you're Christian because of what you've read, right? Or your traditions. You're not actually practicing. This is dysfunction, ultimately, and that's heathen behavior. You'll notice, right, why is this a problem, this dysfunctional behavior, is that the more you have you share a space with individuals that breed this dysfunction, the more you, as a person that does not practice dysfunction, in fact, you try to run away from dysfunction, the more you remain in those spaces, you're going to start questioning your own self-worth. You're going to start questioning your own self. Is what I'm doing correct? There's a lot of rewards that are given to these guys, and they're not really doing the right thing, right? They're sort of looking out for themselves. Should I start doing that kind of stuff in order to do better in this world? Maybe it's not worth it to be celibate. It's not worth it to be disciplined, to stop drinking and stop smoking and stop doing drugs and not having sex excessively. Maybe I have to be like the heathen in order to do what's correct, because that is correct, right? You start to discard your points of view, and then you become just like them. I'm gonna tell you this: the ultimate package of an individual is an individual that could seek dysfunction, and they are firm in their ways that are anti-heathen, right? You know that semen retention gives you gifts. It gives you power. It makes you get in touch with your inner self. It makes you want to chase self-development. It makes you intuitively connected to the events of the world and the trajectory of those events and the effects thereof on a completely higher level. You understand also that it gives you more energy to go through the day, and your impulse controls grows in strength. It grows in foundation. You know these perks of semen retention. And so you carry those perks, even though life is not necessarily showing you those perks, or you're not really seeing the results of your work. And because you know it's the right thing, you continue doing it no matter who and what tells you different. You know naturally, objectively, just looking at it, just if you have a piece of paper that's a peer-backed study talking about the detriments of drinking alcohol. It doesn't matter if you grew up in Georgia where they drink all day, right? They drink the strongest spirits all day. Doesn't matter if you grow up in Poland where they drink vodka all the time, and it's tradition. Their grandfathers drunk vodka and they smoked all these cigarettes and they lived until X year, right? There will always be maladies in the body and in the spirit because they are consuming things that are objectively bad for the body. So it doesn't matter what history tells you about these things. Tradition, it doesn't matter if the entire Polish royalty drunk vodka. Objectively, it is bad for the body. It is poisonous for the mind. It's debilitating for the spirit. Why would you continue drinking that? That is my point. We need to escape dysfunction as fast and as far as our feet can carry us. That is my message to you all. And so if you guys enjoy that kind of content, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with some peers. Don't ever let this place get you down. I am telling you, the moment you pick a path of eschewing dysfunction and heathenism, you will feel it. There is no escape. There is no return to the world that was. You can go into bars and have a good time, but you are, as I said, as I explained in an earlier video, you are harboring thoughts and mindsets and disciplines within your mind and your heart. Those things that you are harboring, those thoughts, are thought forms that have energy, and energy broadcasts vibration. And so if you have those vibrations within your body that's being emanated right from you in a group of people in a room where they don't share that same vibration, right? But the vibration that you're emanating is of an objective basis. They will feel it and they will automatically be turned against you without reason, without definition, without precedent. You need to understand this, and the more that you are within this space, right, of people that don't really understand the objective nature of the activities and disciplines that you're carrying yourselves through, you're gonna come bump heads. Allow this to happen. Carry on your life. Continue moving forward, but make sure that you do not adopt their ways of dysfunction. I love you all, guys. Stay radiant. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Woo!